Hey guys, welcome back. Today it's a full face one brand tutorial, and this brand is Maybelline. Maybelline is one of my favorite drugstore brands. So if you want to know how I got this look from the drugstore, from one brand, from Maybelline, let's get started. Before we start, make sure to subscribe and hit the alert bell, and let's get into the video. Don't be scared, it's just eye masks, and if I look tired, it's because I am. I didn't upload anything last week because I had my daughter's birthday on Sunday, and I've been shopping, cooking, doing party favors for the whole week. Last week I didn't have a moment to even like look in the mirror. So my mom is calling, just a second. So yeah, that's why I didn't upload anything last week. I didn't film anything last week, but this week I'm determined to upload at least 2 videos. So stay tuned. I guess that's enough for those. Let's just take them off. Those eye masks feel so refreshing. By the way, they are e.l.f. The pack of 3 was for $8, I guess. So let me tell you from the first beginning, I have everything for the full face except for the setting spray. I know they carry one setting spray, but I didn't get it because, to be quite honest, I have too much setting sprays. I can't like handle anymore, and I didn't feel the need for it. Like, I didn't feel like it's gonna do something extra for me, so I didn't buy it especially for this video. So I'm going to use something that I already have. I will use a drugstore just to like be on the same price range. So for primer, I have 2 primers from Maybelline. As usual, I use 2 primers. For my T-zone, I will be using the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. And for my cheeks, I usually use a hydrating primer. So I'm going to use the Master Prime, Hydrate and Smooth. I'll do this and be right back. For foundation, I will go with the classic Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I'm using it in the shade Golden Caramel 332. And I'm using this ginormous sponge from Real Techniques, which actually cracked on my first wash. Not even wash, when I was wetting it. I don't know why big sponges do this to me. But I heard Casey Holmes saying amazing stuff about this sponge, so I wanted to try it. I'm going with a clean part to soak the excess over. Now for concealer, I believe I have every concealer that Maybelline ever came up with. I've tried each and every one of them. The only one that I have never tried before is the Superstay Better Skin Concealer. So that's what I'm going to be using today, and I have it in the shade 20 Light. It's a little bit on the light side, and I'm talking formula wise. It's not as thick as the Master Conceal or the Age Rewind, but it's not as light as the Fit Me. And I'm talking all within the Maybelline brand. So I've tried everything before. Some of those stuff are actually my favorite things to use. And the concealer, the eyeshadow palette are the only 2 things that I have never tried before. Like, I know how I feel about everything. I know I look hilarious. Guys, I do this because I have a very narrow nose over here. Like, it's so narrow. I wanted to make it a little bit wider to go with the wide end over here. So that's why I'm doing this techniques right now. Like, I've been doing it for the last like 2 weeks. And let's blend. I like the concealer like a lot. So I'm going to make sure I don't have any creases and go with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. I'm going to tell you the shade in a second. The shade I used is the 10 Fairlight. For brows, this thing, it's a discovery. I am in love. Like, it's shaped weird, but It works amazingly. It's the Total Temptation Brow Definer. I have it in 315 Deep Brown. So I will do my brows and be right back. I know the shape for the spoolie is weird, and I know the shape is like a tear dot, something like that. Tear dot or like weird shaped diamond. But I don't know how, but it's very helpful in doing your brows really fast. Like, I'm in love. I've been forcing myself not to use it because I didn't want to run out of it and not having it for this video. So yeah, I'm gonna be like out of this really soon. Let me dust off the bake. And I'm going to use some concealer to actually carve out my brows. I primed my eyes with the concealer and set it with the same setting powder. Just to let you know, I know over here I feel really dry, and that's what this powder does to me. Now for shadow, I have the City Mini Palette X Shayla, and the shades are pretty amazing, as you can see, but I don't have too many mattes to throw in the crease. So I'm going to use one of their Expert Wear shadow in Earthy Taupe. It's matte, and I'm going to throw it in the crease. I will use the Morphe M504 to do that. You know, before doing that, actually, I'm going to throw this creamy shade over here, this one, and my whole eyelid. It looks like this cream shade is going to give a very nice base for the other shadows. Then back to Earthy Taupe in the crease. Do you guys want to come closer for the eyeshadow tutorial? That's not so comfortable to be that close. Anyways, so I'm going really high, but not quite at the brows. I have a fold and it's too low, so my crease is too low. I want to give the illusion that it's a little bit higher, so that's why I'm doing that. Light hand. I'm holding the brush really far back so I don't have as much control over the brush, and it can be the lightest, so it's the lightest touch. So this shade is not so pigmented, so I will be building it up for a minute over here to make it show up. So I'm gonna fast forward that. Okay, I don't feel that this shade did anything. And the lightest shade over here that I can throw in the crease is this one. And I don't know if you can tell, it's not quite matte. It has a sheen. I will still use it in the crease because I need to use something, but still it's too dark. So in this case, I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller brush and go with this shade, which is the Contour actually palette. And I have it in the shade 10 light to medium. So I'm going to use this shade in the crease instead. I will use the M441. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, this is showing up just a tiny bit, but at least it's defining the crease over here. The M518, and I'm going in the palette with this reddish brown shade, and I will use the lightest touch and the lightest hand because I don't want explosion in the crease. And of course I'm going much lower than the bronzer that I used, or the contour shade that I used. I'm going to use the previous brush and the previous contour shade to blend this a little bit more. Now I will use this pointed tapered brush. It's by Morphe M330 over here, And the same bronzy shade over here, because I want to build this shade up. So I'm focusing on the outer corner and then taking it into the inner corner. And last matte shade I will actually use a teeny tiny detail brush M506 over here by Morphe, and I will use this really dark gray that it seems black, but it's really dark gray. And I'm touching the outer corner just for more depth. And to be quite honest, I don't know how this will perform, so I'm going in with caution. This brush for darker shades, like really dark shades, bless the heart of the person who invented it. Just a tiny definition over here. Okay, for this part, as you can see, I'm holding the brush a little bit closer, but still I don't apply too much pressure. I'm holding it closer because I want the color in a specific area. I don't want it to explode everywhere, so I need full control. But again, it's the lightest touch because I want to blend it away. If you press hard, everything is gonna blend together and it's gonna look muddy. It's not gonna look gradient as you want it to look. I am using the previous brush and I'm tapping away the excess to make sure everything is blended together. And I will stop over here with the mattes and go to the lower lash line, then go to the shimmer and fun part of the whole thing. So I'm using Visonti Contour Eyeshadow number 4. I'm using the contour shade from the contour palette as my first transition for my lower lash line. And I'm kind of connecting it to the crease over here. Any angled teeny tiny brush to line my lower lash line with the dark charcoal or gray color, but first I'm using the Maybelline Unstoppable eyeliner in Onyx. It's a retractable eyeliner. It's not my favorite right off the bat. I've used it before. It's not as pigmented as I wished it to be, so right there I don't like it. I don't mind the color not being like extra black. I mind it's not as creamy and it's not gliding as easily and it's not laying as much color in the waterline, but I'm going to use it. Then I'm going with this dark gray over here and I'm pushing it really close to my waterline. And I'm going to stop at the 2/3 of the eyes. See where I stopped? I'm not gonna take it all the way in because I don't want to close my eyes. Then I will use the Morphe M507. It looks a lot like the M506. It's just a teeny tiny smaller and I love it for smudging the lower lash line. And I'm using this shade over here. So my camera played me off and stopped working. I used this shade dry and it has my name all over it in the outer half of the actual lid, and now I'm trying it wet. Oh my god. Guys, I would say if you are going to get those palettes, get them for the shimmer. Oh my god, how beautiful is that? And then I'm going to go with this shade in the inner corner just to make everything lighter. I'm debating if I just add it without any concealer or any base, or to add like some base to it. What do you guys think? You know what? I will use the Pigment Primer by NYX just for this shade to pop. Add the pigment, then go with the shade. Guys, that's blinding, that's breathtaking. This shade is, oh my god, is this real? Do we see that or what? I'm going to blend this line for sure, but do you see the impact? I can't believe this is actually a drugstore palette. I'm going to use the Sonia Kashuk number 116. That's from the old line. But anything that's a little bit pointed and stiff, but it's made for blending. And I'm going to take the plum shade and ever so slightly run it over here, back and forth, windshield wiper, so that we don't have any harsh line. There we go. I'm going to clean below the eyebrows using this cream shade over here. Now I will apply eyeliner. I will use the Eye Studio gel liner in Blackest Black. I'm going to do a baby wing and then be right back. So let's powder the face before adding bronzer, blush, highlighter. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 25 medium. And I have the Fit Me Compact Powder, like the Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 220 Natural Beige, and that's the one that I'm going to be using actually. My powder brush, stamp it really lightly. I'm not looking for coverage with this. I'm just looking to set the foundation and for a smooth surface for the powder bronzer. I want to make sure this is going smoothly over here, and it is. For contour, I'll be using the Master Contour by Face Studio in the shade light to medium, and let's contour. I want to get the contour really close to my hairline, so I don't have any difference in shades, especially that I used a much darker foundation, as you saw, because my body is much darker than my face. And because of my nose shape, I only contour the lower part, because I don't want this to be any thinner. I want this to be thin. And to blend everything, and I don't want to see any harsh lines, I'm using the Seamless Stippling by EcoTool. For bronzer, I have the Maybelline, everything here is Maybelline. Anyways, the Master Highlight by Face Studio. And right off the bat, it's not my favorite. It was 99 cents. I don't know how this made its way to the 99-cent stores, but that's where, like, I got it. But it doesn't bronze. It doesn't do anything. I know they have a bronzer palette. It didn't look so appealing to me, so I didn't get it. So I will use this for bronzer. But the contour, I feel like it's a very soft, nice contour. I don't hate it. It looks more like a blush, but it is what it is. For blush, I have the highlighting blush, the Master Highlighting Blush, and it looks like a very fall winter shade. And the other option was the blush in the contour palette over here. Maybe I will mix them. Why not? For highlighter, I'm going to use one of my favorite drugstore highlighters of all time, which is the Master Chrome by Face Studio Metallic Highlighter in Molten Gold. Guys, do you see how beat up this highlighter? I use it a lot. I love it, and like I use it for a good reason, obviously. A really quick trick, if you don't want to see your highlighter as like a line over here, grab your blush brush and apply a little bit more blush over here so everything is blending nicely. Right now I'm going to use my hydrating primer, my hydrating setting spray. And I'm using the long-lasting one in the middle. And I need to make this highlighter pop, of course. So I'm using the Deluxe Fan by EcoTool, dipping it into the highlighter, spritzing it, and adding it to the tops of my cheeks. Okay, I'm using the any detail brush and adding the highlighter in my inner corner and under the brows. For the brow gel, I will use the Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. I guess that's new by Maybelline. And the brush is so weird, guys. It's really so weird. It holds too much of the product that it's really messy. So my advice is just brush all the excess off before going into your brows. So that's the drawback, but the good thing is it's like a glue for your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are not going anywhere, like I mean it. And thank goodness this brush is not any bigger, because if it's any bigger we're in trouble. I wouldn't be able to use it, period. Of course, I will be using the Total Temptation. I have the whole video on this mascara. I really love it. I will curl my lashes and then apply mascara. If you want tricks about how to apply mascara and get the utmost out of it, I will link the video for this mascara. It's like a comparison between this one and the L'Oreal. I will link the video down below. For lipstick, I will be using the Super Stay Matte ink in Seductress, one of my favorite shades ever. And for the sake of being extra, I will add the Vivid Hot Lacquer in Charmer. I really, really, really like the look. Like, oh my god, I'm ready to go somewhere right now. It's so good, and it's all drugstore. It's all one brand, one of my favorite brands, Maybelline. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and like it. If you did, thumb up, don't forget. Before you go, I hope you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come back to see me in the next video. Bye!